Good afternoon, Monday, August 22nd, Simple Futures Free Market Update. Get the week started. Down 2% in the S&Ps today on 1.5 million contracts. 1.3 is about average. NASDAQ led the weakness down 2.6%. Dow pulling up the rear at about minus 1.8. Rates were up, treasuries were down, dollar was up, and it's all about Friday and what are we going to hear from Powell? It's all about Friday, I believe, this week and Powell. Friday morning, we're going to learn, and it's all over the news right now. The anticipation is that we're going to hear some hawkish rhetoric. It is the last opportunity that going into the September rate adjustment where we're very, very likely to get another uptick on the rates. That be at the last one before we get into the election cycle of the midterms in November. And historically, traditionally, the Fed does not want to run the risk of appearing political and therefore being active during that time. So it's kind of thought that the last shot at this is this next rate adjustment, and we're going to hear about that on Friday. So I think it's that's what the market's. Is it? I don't know. Is that what this is? Being down 2% today? Or is this what we talked about likely to happen last week anyway? So catch up. How do we get to where we are? At the bottom, we're down 24%. Uptick erases about half of that. 43.20 trades test the 200 period moving average up here, and it's time to take a little breather. I went neutral last week from being bullish prior to that. Idea was let it settle down and test weekly pivot at 42.25. Ended up testing and trading a low on the week, 42.20. Closed the week 42.30. Opened this week, very important, opened this week 42.20. And today we're about 41.30 at the lows today. Back to, you see that price right there at the lows, right there at about 30, you call it 8.37 right there. That's August open. That's where August opened. The opening print for the month of August right there at 41.37. So here we are Monday late afternoon, and I'm just getting to you and we're almost at that first target that I gave you when it started to roll. Remember, test 41.20, see about the bounce off 41.20. If no bounce off 41.20, then test the 50 period moving average, which is down here at like 39.60 and some change. Call it 60. I don't know. Call it 65. 39.65 down there. So it's all about Friday this week, all right? And we started down 2% already today. So what the session mid and VWAP on today was about 41.55. That'd be over under for tomorrow, 41.55. Above that, you're looking at trading up back into testing 41.87 for tomorrow. Even if it does that, though, I'd still probably look for overhead to come in at about there and knock it down. But the bounce, I'm going to tell you right now, the bounce needs to come from, and it really had better, the bounce needs to come from about 41.20. If it gets much through 41.20, let me tell you, it can turn pretty bad pretty fast. And below 41.20, my target's going to be about 39.60, 65 down here, okay? So unfortunately, here we are late on a Monday, and I'm only getting to you when we're almost at that 41.20. Good news is you already knew that from last week. I told you anytime it starts to roll off up here, it's going to be a 41.20, kind of heat sinking kind of a, mission there. And look, here's the good news too. If we do start to see a bounce, and we'll see, 41.20, if that's the spot, right? See a bounce, then I've got a target for you up here. Weekly pivot, 42.60, and naked VPOC up here at the top at 43.07. Those are your bullish targets, okay? 42.60, weekly pivot, 43.07. Naked VPOC at the top left from last week on whatever day it was. I don't know, 43.07 up there. So test 41.20, very important. Squeeze through there, back up to it, bangs its head, 4120, test from below. It's a short target. Two targets. 4060 and 39, call it 60, I guess. 60, 65, whatever. 30, just call it 60. It makes it easy to remember. 40, 60, 39, 60. It's pretty, may not be perfect on the bottom down there, but it's going to be close. So that's it. That's what I got. It's really pretty simple here this week. It's a big, it gets ugly below 4120 or it holds 4120 and it gets nice and juicy back 4260 weekly pivot and naked VPOC up at 4307. And it's all about, to be honest with you, it's really all about Friday. You know, treasuries are getting smacked. The only thing up today really was the dollar, and that's up on the hyped talk about the hawkish kind of a rhetoric and stance on Friday morning, and that leading into the September rate decision, you know, which is kind of the last shot really in front of to be out of the way and around the midterms, you know, the November timeframe. So that's what's going on. You know, it's time to let this thing come back in and breathe, and that's what it's doing. It's got the story. If I just repeat the levels, I'm just telling you the same story again. So that's what I got. I hope it helps. Good trade, nice evening, and I'll be back with you Wednesday night to kind of catch up and see where we're at from there, and that'll be our next together, where then we'll be preparing for Friday morning, commentary. Okay? Bye. See you. Good trading.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency.
It's one of the things that won me